I'm Michelle, and I am going to do a really quick thrifted book haul. I only have about an hour, so hopefully I can get this done in an hour. There's this thrift store about 40 minutes from me. It takes a while to get out there, but every time I go, it's so worth the trip. I find so many good books that I've been wanting to read, and they're in perfect condition. They are only like $2 to $3. So I'm going to show you what I got today, and hopefully I'll get to the stack that I got everything else. I wanted to get to this, otherwise it was going to get completely out of control, and I had them all stacked up nicely, ready to film, but I have to put them away soon. So let's get to this. The first I'm going to show you is the 4 books of the Vampire Academy series. I read these a while ago via audiobook. I've been wanting to do a reread of them, so I wanted to get the actual books because sometimes it's just so much better. And as you can see, the hardbacks there are $3. Paperbacks are $2, so that's amazing. Another one is The Night World. These are 2 bind-ups, so there's 6 books total in these 2 volumes, which is awesome. I don't know much about this series. I know it's young adult, which sometimes it's a 50-50 for me if the characters are really cheesy, but sometimes they could surprise me too. Like, I actually was really surprised by Vampire Academy and how much I fell in love with that series. So I'm excited to give this one a try. I got this beautiful edition of To Kill a Mockingbird. I think this is one of the prettiest covers I've seen one of the classics in. For all these paperbacks, they're not even bent back. Like, the spines aren't even bent. It's freaking amazing. Time Traveler's Wife. This one, I did not want to read this, but I want to try expanding my horizons. All the books I've been picking up are really old books, none of the new releases, but I don't see a lot of people doing older books on BookTube. I see all the new releases, so maybe that's something that I will bring to BookTube community. Stephen King, I'll be honest, I have not read Stephen King before, so there's a really bad glare so these white covers really glare from my window. But anyways, this one's a bunch of short stories, which I'm excited that I'm going to give Stephen King a shot with these short stories. Like, I kind of want to read it, but I'm kind of like, well, there's a lot of other things I'd rather read, so this collection of short stories will be a really good introductory to see if I really like his writing and if I want to give it. This one, I'm super excited I found. I listened to this on audiobook years ago when it very first came out. I'm a huge Stephanie Meyer fan. I'm excited that I have it again because I definitely want to do a reread of it. Emma by Jane Austen. There's a movie, and I remember trying to watch the movie and I did not like it, so I wasn't gonna buy the book, but this was only $2, and someone on BookTube was raving about it, said this is one of their favorite Jane Austens, so I'm gonna give it a shot. East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I just saw the cover and it was so beautiful, and it's, you know, a classic, so I had to pick it up and read about it, and it sounds really good. I had a bad taste in my mouth. John Steinbeck, because the only book I've read of his was of Mice and Men, and that was like in high school, and I did not like that book. The only thing I could remember about is the poor little mice, and I don't know, there's a lot about it I did not like. And then my husband and I were talking about it, and he was like, no, you're missing the point. Like, it's about their relationship. I can't even remember their names right now. It's not important, but this book sounds so good, and it's beautiful, and $2, so I'm excited. I'm gonna give that one a try. Another one, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna read that book because, again, I saw the movie, but I've heard several booktubers say it's one of their favorite books. It's just gorgeous writing, and again, I got suckered into the gorgeous cover. It's like watercolors. It's so pretty, and the cover is really soft. It's kind of like a rubbery feel. So, and then the inside too, there's like a little built-in book jacket, and it's just so pretty. And so I'm gonna give this one a shot too. These 2 I already have. I love the Twilight series. These I just picked up to replace my paperback editions because I have Twilight and New Moon in paperback, but then I have the other two in hardback. I did that. I was resisting doing that for the longest time. I've been wanting to do that, but I was resisting because I was like, who needs 2 copies? But I'm going to be writing fan fiction on Twilight series, so I'm going to take my paperback editions, and those are the ones I'm going to annotate in, and that gives me a book that I can mess up and write in. Game of Thrones series. I had a box set of the first 4 books before the other one came out, and then my kids, they got into it and they took them outside and they left them in the rain and they got totally trashed. So I just kind of gave up on that, and then I saw them at the thrift store and I was like, okay, great, this is my turn. Like, they even have all 3 of them, so it'll be a good start. Picked up this one. I remember seeing the movie. It was a really pretty movie. I was resisting reading the book because I'd already seen the movie, but for $2, and I read the back of it, and it just sounds like a beautiful love story, so I'm going to read it, and hopefully it's a lot better than the movie. This is a book I've been wanting to read for a long time. I am working on my collection of the Mortal Instruments series. I fell in love with the very first one, and then I listened to City of Ashes on audiobook, and with all the like incest stuff with the brother and sister who like they'd already fallen in love and now they're trying to stay away from each other but they can't resist each other, I was just like, no, 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 I love Jason Clary, how can they do this to me? And I just hated it and I didn't want to go back to it. With everybody on BookTube who just loves that series, I'm like, I have to give this another try. There's something I'm missing. I need to keep reading. We'll get past that. So I'm listening to City of Glass on audiobook right now through Overdrive. So that's the one that hooks you up to your library. I'm listening to that on audiobook, but I definitely want to find City of Ashes and City of Glass in book form too, and then I'll have the 4th one I'm ready to read, and this one I don't know if I'm gonna like. So when I got hooked on to Twilight Saga, the girl who I was reading them with, we're kind of doing a buddy read, I guess, but right after she was done reading the Twilight Saga, she picked up this one, and she said she did not like it because the main character is a female vampire. She's like 5,000 years old, and she just felt like as a male author, he could not write from a female's perspective, and a lot of things that you should be more emotional about or could not get into the persona of a woman to write in a woman's perspective. So I love anything vampire, so I really wanted to give it a read for a lot of years, but since she said she hated it so much, as someone who absolutely loves character development, if that's the case, it's gonna ruin it for me. I was just like, no, I don't know, I don't want to get it, and I hate it too, so I've been resisting, but then I found it at the thrift store, so I'm gonna give it a shot. There's 2 volumes, so I only found the first volume, so we'll see if I like it. If I do, then I'll go get the next one. Sarah Deason book. I've been wanting to read Sarah Deason for a really long time. This will be like my very first, I guess these are considered contemporary romances or something like that. Running with Scissors by Augustine Burroughs. It's a memoir. I love memoirs. I really like candid, getting to know you characters, and memoirs that I've read so far, they really tell all, and I just absolutely love that, all their inner thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. So this one is bizarre. It's fun, it's funny, and they made a movie out of it. So, but I read the book and then I saw the movie, which the movie does a pretty good job, but there's just more detail in the book, of course, as always. So this is going to be a reread for me. I'm really excited I found a copy because I want to let my friend borrow it too because she really likes books like this. The last one I found today was a copy of Chronicles of Narnia. This is actually a replacement for the copy I already have. The one that I already have is totally beat up. This is the copy I already have. As you could tell, like part of the cover is missing. See, I picked this up actually at my community college's free bin because this is a discard book, so they were just getting rid of it and it was free, and I was like, no way, that's exciting. So I picked it up and it was a mess then, and I'm excited to replace this beat up copy. However, I'm probably going to keep them both, keep this one beautiful on my shelf, and I think I'm going to actually annotate this. So Now I won't feel bad about it. Alright, I'm gonna throw this in there with my thrifted book haul because I guess technically it is thrifted. I just didn't get them at the thrift store. My community college has a little mini bookstore, and they had a 10-cent cart where I picked up the Secret Circle series. I started watching the television show and I thought it was really good, but I was really nervous to buy the books, but at 10 cents a piece, I was like, if I can't stand to read them, that's fine. If I have to give them away for free to somebody, that's fine, but I wanted to give it a shot. Reason why I was so nervous to give these a try is because I love the Vampire Diaries TV show, and so I picked up the book and it was so disappointing. I was just like, oh, I loved Elena in the show. She was just so pretty. I didn't expect that she was a blonde, so that kept messing me up because when they talk about her, I was thinking, oh, they're talking about Caroline. But no, I could have lived with that. So it wasn't that. It was just, I loved Elena's character. She was just mellow and sweet and really introverted. And then in the book, she was so annoying. I could only get through like 3 chapters, and I literally picked it up 3 different times and tried to read it, and just same thing. I just couldn't even finish that book, which is really weird for me because even if I don't enjoy it that much, I will still just stick it out because you never know. Maybe it will be worth it in the end, but that one I just couldn't. So that was sad. I would love to see other booktubers discuss some of these old L.J. Smith books and let me know their thoughts. Another book I found, it was 50 cents, was this book called Stiff by Mary Roach. This is The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers. It sounds really morbid, but it sounds so interesting. I guess it just kind of takes you through what happens to a body when it dies, and like, I think when your body goes off to like medical school to work on and learn from. So I'm really excited about that. These are books that I picked up for free. My kids' school, I guess they're cleaning out their library. They're expanding their school and building another building somewhere else. So I don't know why they're getting rid of a bunch of books, but they were just boxes and boxes of free books, and most of them were children's books, which my kids weren't really interested in a lot of them. But I was digging through the boxes and I found all these classics, book heaven, and they're all free. So that was kind of interesting. Another free book I found was at my very favorite buy, sell, and trade bookstore, Second and Charles. They always have a free bin out front, so when people come to sell their books, the ones that they don't buy, people can just dump them in the free bin, which is awesome for me. I found this was another one I was like, I don't know, I'm not going to read it, but I heard really good reviews about it anyway. From my thrifted book haul from a couple weeks ago at the same thrift store I went to, I found the second book to that one I just showed up. I got Gone Girl. I'm super excited to read this one. I heard it was really, really good. I did not hear good things about this one, but as a Harry Potter fan, you kind of have to read them all, right? Just to say that you read it and experience it for yourself. So I picked this one up. I probably would not have paid full price for it, but since it was only $2, had to have it. Even if it just sits on my shelf with my collection. This one, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't think I had a copy of it. I would really be sad if I got home and realized I did not have a copy and I should have bought it. So now I have 2. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I am going to take some of these images and either make art for my walls or bookmarks out of them. I also picked up this book, Wicked. It is about the Wicked Witch of the West. And I've been looking at this book for a really long time. When I looked it up on Goodreads, it did not get good reviews, so I've just been kind of like, I don't know. I do have to experience it for myself. I don't always trust reviews on Goodreads, so it's just kind of a basis for. So I'm excited about this one, see how it goes. This is a second book after Beautiful Creatures. I absolutely loved Beautiful Creatures. I listened to this one on audiobook. I felt disappointed about it, honestly. It just kept going on and on and on. The main character, she was just driving me crazy. When I'm listening to audiobooks, I'm usually working, and so my mind's other places, so I decided that I had to give it another shot. Also, I found book 2 of this series. The first one's Delirium, which I've had Delirium on my shelf for a really long time. Haven't got around to reading it just yet. I think that will be my next book to read when I am done on Dracula. I'm excited that I have the second book to the series. I think it's a series I'm really going to enjoy. And the last one from this haul is Incarceron. It was just a gorgeous cover. I read the inside. It sounds pretty interesting. Really, the only reason I picked this up is because it's such a beautiful cover. That happens. And when your book is $3, hey, don't like it, who cares? So, that wraps up my giant thrifted book haul. I guess it's about time for me to get going. Bye!